Greetings and salutations. I'm Mr. R, a Warforged Skycoach driver in the employ of a wonderful group of adventurers. When I'm not earning a modest living here in the City of Towers, I find myself catching up on podcasts like the one you're currently listening to, the Dragon Between podcast, a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons campaign set in the Eberron pulp fantasy setting by Keith Baker. New episodes are recorded every Sunday and released on the following week. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel for clips and future episodes. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter for updates and news on the podcast. Thank you for supporting the podcast, and now on with the show! Whoa! Sassafras, that's a good girl!
When we last met, the characters stormed the Grail Hunt compound, doing battle with hostile forces inside the manor and outside. After a fierce conflict with smaller Nimblewrights, the party observed a larger Nimblewright attempting to flee the second floor of the house. The construct rocketed into the sky over the homestead with several flying turret constructs following closely behind it. The group sprung into action, attempting to stop the fleeing construct. Byron managed to knock the Nimblewright off of its sourcelet, causing it to fall hard onto the cobblestone street below. Zara then dealt the killing blow. The group then headed into the manor and surveyed a scene of absolute carnage. Bodies littered the ground and the second floor of the estate. The characters eventually found Lady Yala Growlhund hiding upstairs in a guest room, cradling the body of her dead husband. Party observed that the room housed an arrangement of arcane sigils that were later identified as a teleportation circle. The characters explored a bit more and discovered that the Grailhund children were being protected by Lady Grailhund's half-orc servant. Shortly thereafter, members of the city guard and the Sharn Watch arrived and sequestered the group on the ground floor while the house was searched. Zara elected to stay behind with Lady Grailhund and observed the noblewoman rummaging through a nearby desk and attempting to move towards the teleportation circle. The noble was then halted by Zara's command spell. As the party were reunited on the ground floor, they were all questioned by the authorities briefly and dealt with harshly for trespassing. Lady Growlhund then accused Zara of attacking her, nearly forcing a conflict between the group and the authorities. It was not long after that Barnabas Blastman was summoned to the scene of the fray. The Elder Inquisitor vouched for the group and removed them from Grailhund Manor, sending them all to the Sharn Watch station in Cliffside via Skycoach. The characters took a Skycoach back and found their noble friend Rainier waiting for them outside of the watch station. Rainier then paid the Skycoach driver to take a break and accompanied the party up into the sky over the district. The noble then shared what he knew about a gnome called Dalakar, one of the victims of the fireball attack, and a spy working for the senior Irdemel, Cathan. The gnome was apparently on his way to the manor with the intention of hiring them to carry the Stone of Galore to Rainier's father in Rote. Dalakar was apparently tracked by agents hired to obtain the stone. After a few more questions, Rainier asked the party if they had found anything of importance while chasing down the culprits. Nicholas then produced a small bag pilfered from the fallen Nimblewright. The bag contained a smooth gray stone with raised nodules on one side, an artifact that Rainier identified as the Stone of Galore. And Nicholas, if you would be so kind as to roll a charisma saving throw with advantage.
Oh, hold on. Saving throw.
Yes, saving throw.
Okay.
With advantage. Okay. Rainier looks expectantly as you hold out the stone in your hand, taken out of the bag. It's incredible that you've managed to get your hands on this. You must have gone through hell.
It was nothing. Can I put it back in the bag?
Yes, you do.
Zito!
And
Is Zito still flying the Sky Coach?
Zito is currently at the rear of the Sky Coach, correct.
Okay. Zito, take us to Manchun!
Whoops. You guys can just ignore that.
Why are we going to see Manchun?
Oh, no reason. I'm just, I need to check in with him for, I was doing a mission for him.
Oh. Doesn't involve stone, does it?
No. No. Not at all.
Okay. Well, you heard him, Zito. Let's go.
Bernier looks at all of you and says, "Are we not going down to the watch station?"
I mean, yeah, we can.
I don't care whether we do or not. The watch has very little to do with me.
Hey, are we there yet?
Zara has her she kind of has her hands on her forehead. She's just like, oh my gosh.
Zara, you might actually be in trouble. Do you want to go to the watch station, or do you want us to take you somewhere else first?
I mean, got to do what you gotta do. I mean, I just didn't think about it. She was getting away and she knew evidence, and I thought it's to, make sure someone who had witnessed it didn't get away. Plus, I think she knows much more than she lets on about adventurous.
Oh, you don't have to convince me. I'd have strangled her if I'd been there.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Had it been Nick or something who has some sort of better. I'm coming from a house of healing.
Nick doesn't have any authority right now either. I'm afraid the best person it could have been would have been me representing a church, but the guards don't even seem to care about that either.
No, I mean, I fully believe the Inquisitors are not rigged by Ventress, and she just spits on the ground.
I mean, we don't really look too good either. We kind of broke in. I mean, yeah, we saw a crime, but it was a messed up situation, and royals are kind of held in the highest regard around here.
I don't want any of you to risk your place. I mean, I broke a law, I mean...
It doesn't matter. Let's go down there and see what they have to say about it. If need be, we'll fight our way out.
The diminutive Zito looks at all of you and says, "So I'm confused. Where are we going again? Are we going down? Are we going up? Are we going over?"
We're going down.
We're gonna go throw some lizards in the faces of some police officers, basically.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
But I will say, Samael, as much as I appreciate your protection, please don't kill or injure anyone over me, please.
Why would I do that? That would be foolish. I wouldn't want to kill or injure anybody that's doing evil. Seems like everybody in this city is a little bit evil.
And don't forget, it's semi-other pacifist. Come on now. Or throw a lizard at Nicholas.
Yeah, I'm on a holy mission. I apologize, Zara, but your pleas are falling on deaf ears here. If they do anything evil, I will execute them.
Alright, just, they are, they're following the law, they're following their rules. Please don't kill
Does
anyone
that make
over
them
here,
right?
please. No,
Awesome rules can be evil! Evil! Sorry guys, I'm feeling a bit weird. Kinda like I kinda blacked out for a while. I'm gonna just lay down.
Point is, people that make laws can be evil as well. And yeah, let's just go find out what they have to say. We'll play it by ear.
The sky coach spirals down, down, down into the streets below, and as it comes to a rest, Zito kind of bumping the bottom of the sky coach on the cobblestone street a bit. Oh, sorry about that. There we go. I think I got it. And you are all on the ground once again. Right
Good job,
outside
Sita.
the Sharn Watch station, Renair begins stepping off of the sky coach, exiting the sealed canopy door that opens up as he approaches the edge of the sky coach boat, the sidewall. Says,
After
they've been
after
waiting
you
for
all.
us for a while. If you all follow me.
Okay, let's go.
A mysterious force in the skies talking to us, everyone.
Okay. So one by one, you file out of the sky coach and begin approaching the outside of the watch station. And Brenier heads up the steps and through the double doors into the hustling and bustling chamber. And he looks back at each of you and he says, "This is well, hopefully this won't take too long. They should just let us right in." And he walks up to the counter and he says, "Excuse me, sir. My name is Renair Demel. I was in here earlier. These are the witnesses from earlier today. They're here to at the request of Barnabas." Oh, it is Barnabas, you say? Oh, go right ahead. Head on down the hallway. Mind your nose. It's pretty gross back there. Well, thank you, sir. And Renier holds out an arm extended down the hallway, and he says, just head down to the end. It's the door at the very end of the hallway.
I will stride forward towards the door.
And as you reach the end of the hall, you find a door within a simple opaque glass fixture set it within the frame. And it says the word coroner on the outside.
Okay, let's go on then.
Okay. As you head into the darkened chamber, lit with ever bright lanterns and strategically in different places, you see a couple of individuals standing around. One who is wearing the vestments of the watch, and he is currently holding an atlas slate in his hand, and he's looking at the bodies, which are all covered with plain linens. And you could see that there are more than 11 bodies within this chamber. There are actually rows and rows and rows of tables and platforms with bodies of various sizes and shapes. Some of them covered, some of them are not covered. And you see a woman who is currently walking around the room, and she is tracing a line with her finger in the air as she does over a few of the bodies. And she turns and she looks back, and you recognize this woman, Zara, as the woman who assisted with the child that had fallen and impacted the ground up in Sovereign Towers.
Hello, Mum. And I just kind of bow my head.
Well, it's about time you showed up. Come on then, let's get this over with. They called me down here so that you could talk to corpses. Ghastly. So which one of these do you want to talk to? And she gestures now to the 11 bodies that are arrayed out and segregated from the rest of the bodies that are along the walls and within the room. These are the victims from the incident earlier today. Your noble friend was in here earlier, and he identified this one, and she gestures to the diminutive form, somewhat covered, of a gnome. Most of his features are completely burned away. And Zara, you also see the bodies of the individuals that you saw earlier in the day when you identified one of them as having a dragon mark on his arm.
If we could speak to the short one and the one with the dragon mark.
Oh, that's no problem. I can do that. Just give me a moment, okay? And she turns around and she begins reaching into her bag in the side of her. And you can see that she pulls something out of her bag and begins tracing sigils in the air.
Hey, Nick. Did I just make a short joke?
And there is, after a moment, approximately 10 minutes go by while this woman is setting up incense around the body and lighting it. And she says, just give me a few minutes and I'll have the spell working. Don't worry about it. And after the 10 minutes go by, the incense, the smoke from the incense, you all watch as it coalesces into a shadowy, flat, horizontal shape. A shadow that immediately drifts into the body of the diminutive gnome. And the gnome's body jerks. And its eye, one good eye which is left, snaps wide open. And it's milky white and yellow. A bit of fluid oozes out as the eye opens and looks around the room. And its mouth opens. The 3/4 of its jaw is missing. The bit which is still remaining on one side of its face is moving, and you can hear it making raspy noises now. Where am I? And the woman turns and looks at all of you and says, well, what are you waiting for? It's not going to last very long.
Who do you work for?
I work for Lord Mayor Catherine Dimmel, the rightful Lord Mayor of Sharn.
And why were you near a troll skull manor?
I heard about a group of mercenaries who rescued my personage's son, Rainier, from the Zesh Guild, and thought the stone would be safe in their hands for the time being. I was on my way to deliver it. I'm planning to come back and reclaim it. Once I lost my pursuers, then everything went dark.
Who was pursuing you?
I don't know. They are. I assumed they worked for Dask.
Sorry, look, did he say Dusk?
The woman looks at you, looks to the rest of your companions, and says, "That's what it sounded like."
She looks around at everyone else. What do you guys have other questions to ask?
Zito looks quietly. Seems to be standing near one of the tables with the corpses. Some liquid begins dripping from the corner, and blip, blip, blip on his foot, and he just sort of shakes and steps away really quickly, and then looks to the rest of you, and he says, I don't know. Whatever you guys want. As long as we can get out of here quick. This is gross.
I don't know. What other information can you tell us about this stone and the people wanting it?
No. The stone is the key to finding the gold in the city. I stole it from Zesh, a beholder that lives under the city.
Oh boy. How wouldn't we find this Zesh? Does he have it?
No, I had it. The stone was mine until I was no more.
Alright, thank you. Go back to
You're welcome.
And after the 10 minutes are up, the corpse, you watch as the eye stops moving around in its socket. The chest stops heaving up and down through this sense of false life, and all sound escapes from the gnome known as Dalakar. And the cleric looks to each of you and says, well, did you get everything you needed, or did you want me to awaken one of these other fools?
the dragon mark one.
This one? And she gestures to one of the men wearing the when you once first saw them was wearing the black leather armor, and is now completely stripped of all clothing and half covered with a sheet. And you can see the skin is blistered and cracked in areas, and one of the arms is like a huge chunk of it has been burnt away all the way down to the bone.
I've seen worse. Alright, I'm ready.
And the woman looks at you and says, very well, just give me a moment. And she once again goes through the ritual of setting up the incense around the body. And the same as before, it takes a little bit of time, but the essence of the smoke from the incense flows into the corpse, and a few ragged, unlife breaths from the form, and you just see this disgusting vision of this corpse reaching straight up with its dragon-marked arm and yelling out, "Foxen in!" And then it lays back down and looks around the room.
Why am I on a table? What is this? What happened?
That's none of your concern. Who do you work for, and why were you in Trollskull Alley near our manor?
I worked for Floxen. We were trying to find some artifact in the possession of Dalakar. We were trying to catch him. Erstal Floxen, said that it would make us as rich as kings if we got it.
Who threw the fireball?
There is silence, and the corpse says,
Fireball? Is that what happened to me?
Yes, sadly, yes.
Floxen betrayed us. He did. I know it. We were to bring the stone back to the manor, back to the lady.
Lady Growlhunt.
Yes. We were to be paid upon delivery.
What happened at the Growlhunt Manor?
We live at Grellon Manor. We have been there for months.
I see. What were Growlhunt's intentions?
Intentions? I don't know intentions. I only know that he wanted the stone.
And this Floxen, he wanted it for himself.
Floxen said he was loyal to Growlhunt, but I suspect it was a different lady. Floxen would visit another from time to time, and spoke of his secret benefactor.
Did he have a ring with a V on it?
the corpse is silent for a moment, as if its gears are turning, the last few synapses firing within its soon-to-be rotting brain.
Oxen wore a sigil ring, yes.
Have you heard of the name Ventress?
Oh, Ventress. Let's see. Inquisitor.
Yes. Ben? Does anyone else have something that
You glance around the room once again at your friends who are silent and stoic. And Zara, you notice that someone seems to be missing. You don't see Nicholas in the room.
where'd Nick go?
I don't know. He was just here.
He's not really the queasy type. I don't know.
Maybe he had a party.
Maybe he did. Well, I wish I could just ask, where is Ventress and how do I kill her?
Why
Sure,
don't you
why
use your
not?
ring and ask him where he's at?
Ventress is at the Citadel.
Well, Floxen and her, I don't know, like in a relationship or something?
No. Foxen was her cousin.
Oh. What's his last name? I mean, his real last name.
Last name's Foxen, surname. First name, Erstel.
Estofloxacin. Does he have any other family members? Where are they?
No family. Only extended within the table. The serpentine table.
Alright. Well, thank you. Go back to sleep.
Thank you, good lady. Will I be all right?
I don't know. Samaya, what do you think?
I feel cold.
Don't worry, you'll go back to sleep, and we won't wake you up.
Don't think about it. It'll go by fast.
I think I will go to sleep now. And as it emits that last and final word, the breathiness that continues on and the breath continues to blow until it ceases and the body goes slack and rigid. And the cleric looks through you all and says, well, I'm all out of incense. If you need anything else, I will be on my way.
Letter.
Thank you, I appreciate it, and Zara pulls out, what does she pull
And
out?
before she begins heading towards the exit, and she looks back at you and she says, oh,
And she just kind of gives a piece of gold into her hand. Thank you, I appreciate it.
oh, well, thank you. That's not necessary. I was paid by the watch. They paid for the services through care of the Inquisitor's office, but I appreciate that.
What was your name again?
Before I go, I almost forgot. My name is Florence, but some people call me Jinx. And she says, before I go, one of the gentlemen at the front desk said that they intercepted something, a writ, a missive, that was meant to be delivered to you here. Strange, I haven't seen someone hand deliver a letter before. It's very unusual. Usually folk just send paper birds. And she reaches into the folds of her robes and she pulls out a folded piece of parchment with a wax seal on it. And she hands it. She says, I believe it's meant for all of you.
I hold my hand out and take it. Thank you, Jinx.
No problem. And as she hands the parcel to you, you see that the wax seal is in the shape of a scorpion, a black scorpion.
Well, shall we saunter out of the dead people room? Unless you guys, feeling cozy.
Well, it's quiet in here now. I like it.
I want to use this time to see where Nick is, and I'd like to use my ring. Nick! Nick! It's the dwarf! Are you in the bathroom? Did you fall? Do you need help?
Can you not get up?
Do you have plenty of toilet paper? Are you constipated?
There is no reply.
Didn't he have a stun on him?
What's the matter? He's gone evil. Track his evil scent. Find him! I'm sure he has a reason.
I mean, if I know anything about Nick, he will...
Sell the
He does stuff
stun
like this
and
all-
use it to buy him something nice.
No.
How would you know him? I mean, he had a secret girlfriend that he never told you about that turned out to be the High Inquisitor.
And
So
he
it's
had-
not like he
had
tells you
her.
everything.
I mean, in his defense, it was a girlfriend from a long time ago. I know him now. he ducks away time to time to do things that are important. And
Maybe he took the stone and he's going to go give it to his ex-girlfriend.
Maybe it just smells so bad in that bathroom that he cannot reply without dying.
Or maybe kind of like, think he was brainwashed. Maybe there's something more that they put him in and they brainwashed him then. There's like 1,000 billion, trillion, a billion, dillion different things. We have no idea in any egg cracking what's going on.
The good news is once he gets back, we can torture the answer out of him.
I call the feather so I can tickle him, and then
Deal.
you can eat hard stuff.
Zara, do you want to torture him first, being that he's your husband?
no. Guys, it's fine. Nick does this time to time. When he needs to just do something on his own, he always comes back. It'll be fine. I'm sure
Like
it'll
a
be fine.
dog.
Okay.
Okay, never.
That may be okay with you in your marriage, but in my friendship with Nick, that's not okay. He needs to quit taking off with stuff, especially things that people are looking for and willing to kill people over. Nick could be dead in an alley somewhere because he's off being secretive right now with the stone of galore.
You sound like a mom. You could be dead in a ditch.
You sound like a dwarf. Be quiet.
I'm a dwarf. Are you a mom?
Okay, if you're a dwarf, go break the goddamn door down in the bathrooms and check he's there. And Mommy Samael, if you're the mommy, go make me a freaking sandwich because I'm hungry and tired. And Zara, can we get out of here? I feel bad for bringing dead people when they're at rest.
Yeah. I'll feel better once I torture the answer out of Nick.
As I said, I'm sure Nick will be fine, but let's head out. I'm sure we can express.
I hope so. I'd hate to have to heal him first.
The war in so many ways.
During that.
I mean, I was the one, taking care of all the dead people and healing people.
Can we not talk about this here, please?
Rainier,
Why? What's wrong with?
who has been quiet this time, he says, "You say that Nicholas does this sort of thing often, and he has the stone, right?
Yep.
Don't you guys think that's a little strange?"
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
why I get to hammer the nails in his fingers.
He turns and he looks at Zito and he says, "If it is all right, I will head to the manor." And Zito turns and he looks, "I think I will too, you guys. I'm going to go check the manor and see if Nicholas headed that way with Rainier." And Zito and Rainier begin walking out of the Sharnwatch station into the street proper and away.
I'm going to Mad Shoon's residence.
I'm coming with. I heard he has a really cool gauntlet.
Damn it, Nick! You just make things complicated sometimes. Anyways,
Look
Zara,
on the bright side, Zara. If we find him with the stone and everything's okay, then we're good.
what do you do with
We'll
We'll just
We'll
give
be
him a
fine.
stern talk.
Siegfried just looks sick and it's kind of homesick and just a room.
Zara, do you do anything at all with the message, the note that was given to you?
I actually am going to open up and
Okay. As you break the wax seal, this elaborate black scorpion, the folded piece of paper folds out into a pentagonal-shaped piece of parchment. And the letter reads as such. "Sir Samael, thank you for your update regarding the stone. My contacts within the city have spoken of several rumors regarding Zeshgild of Dask and the Boromar clan. Rest assured, my benefactor is a patient man, but he has his limits. Your movements have of course been tracked by our agents as well as other interested parties. The recent incident near your home was unfortunate. The trio have assured me that you and your companions were unharmed and managed to track the culprits to a manor in upper north edge. I can only assume that the search for the stone has come for an end. The gunslingers will take delivery of the stone. I will send for you all when the time comes to discuss the next step over drinks. Warmest regards, Z.
Samael?
Yes.
What is this? And she gives him the letter.
Oh. Give me one moment. Looking it over here, it seems like our benefactor, in terms of the purchase of the Son of Galore, seems to be ready to set up a meeting with.
Oh, that guy. Oh my gosh.
Is there a
We
tracking
did
here?
promise him we would bring it to him, and there's 5,000 gold at the end of it. Who are the gunslingers? Does anybody know?
No.
It's awful quiet
well-
in here tonight.
Does Zara remember anything about the gunslingers and her time working in Sharn and all that?
Make an intelligence check. Or no, I'll tell you what, make a wisdom check.
Right. That's a 14.
You seem to remember in your conversation with Dimble aboard the Eyecatcher that the trio were the personal guard of Zardoz Zord. That they were 3 Volcurian drow brothers.
I guess the gunslingers are 3 drow brothers that guard.
Ah, that would explain why when he has the word trio in here, he capitalized it. You see here? It's a title.
I see.
Okay, so we're expecting 3 drow to show up at our establishment to pick up the stone.
So, how are we handling this?
Where's Nick? These gunslingers are working with us right now because we have possession of the stone, but if they find Nick alone, we might very well lose Nick and the stone.
I mean, if I recall, I think he might have.
He seemed
There's
really
something
interested in going to Manshoon's. I think we need to go investigate there first.
I think it was when he went to Manshoon, yes.
Siegfried wipes the puke off his mouth. I was like, okay, have we stopped fighting over agreeing on the same thing and decided to go yet?
Alright, let's go.
Let's go.
And
I'm going to take that note and put it in my inventory.
dealing with the issues at the watch station, speaking with the dead within the coroner's office, and then of course trying to come to grips and figuring out what to do next while you're still at the station and heading towards the exit takes you about an hour. And as you walk outside of the Sharnwatch station, you see a very confused looking Nicholas Highhill wandering towards you all.
Nick, where have you been? Nick! I'm going to go over and shake the hell out of him. Nick, speak up, man. Where have you been? What's happened?
Jeremy, what do I say?
I'll tell you what. Make a wisdom saving throw. You have no idea. In fact, you can't remember anything from the moment you reached into the bag and pulled that stone out in the sky coach and showed it to Rainier. It's almost as if that memory is gone, and all you remember is closing your eyes, opening them, and Samael is shaking you in the middle of the street.
Where am I?
Ah, damn it! I'm gonna push push Nick back towards Zara. See if
Nick.
you can do anything with him.
He's always the one to succumb to mind control, it seems.
Does he just don't?
Didn't you take any training against this? Whatever, it's fine. It's not your fault. Weakness can't be blamed. Never can be.
That's why he usually has me, but
So when did he get?
Samael trips over a trash can and falls on the ground.
Apparently so. I don't even know what that was.
Well, Nick will have a stone.
What stone? Oh, I do reach in my bag and see if it's there.
You reach in. That's what you're doing. You're checking your bag.
Yeah.
It is not there, but in its place is a scrap of paper, which looks like something that used to have writing on it, and like something that you've been carrying around in your bag for a long time, and you recognized it, but it seems a bit disheveled. And on the opposite side of it, you seem to have drawn a hastily drawn map with an X on it. And it looks like an overhead view of Cliffside. And the X appears to be localized in the Greyflood district, which is the northern district within Cliffside. And there's a little X with a name scribbled really, really poorly calligraphy.
Ooh, I don't have the stone, but I drew this.
is that your handwriting?
Does it look like my handwriting?
Zara, it looks like Nicholas's handwriting is very, very poorly. It almost seems as if he wrote it in distress.
Yeah, Nick, you weren't known for handwriting either. Oh gosh.
And Zara, as you peer closely to the piece of paper, did you want to attempt to ascertain what he tried to write?
Definitely.
Make an investigation check. With advantage, since you know his writing.
Okay.
And looking at the map, tell what that area.
That's a 10.
Zara, you can make out one word. The second word. The word, it looks like it says Garloth.
Alright,
And-
so you had some garlic?
And Byron, looking at the sheet, the X on it looks to you like this is somewhere in the northwestern part of the docks. And it seems to be localized within a neighborhood that you know to be Mist Shore.
Do I know any of the shops there or anything that?
You know that Mist Shore
Okay.
is a very rundown area that is mostly filled with folk who don't want to be found. It's kind of a seedy area. You know that there's a lot of ramshackle homes that are built out of pieces of old ships. In fact, there's an entire sailing vessel which is pulled up onto the shore next to the docks, which individuals use to sleep in. Homeless, bandits, from time to time have been known to use it. And you also remember from your childhood that particular neighborhood was home to a wizard named Grinda Garloth.
Well, the district area there, Mr. Shovel, is pretty much a cutthroat area. There is. Yeah, it's
You impart this information to the party?
yes, I announced that out loud.
Well, we do? I mean, maybe wizard versus wizard is a better, you know, untune? I don't. Gosh, Nick.
Let's go over there and check it out. It won't hurt. We're getting nowhere sitting here.
Yeah, and even a bad wizard manipulate simple mind.
All right, tobacco. I mean, am I even allowed to leave?
We'll see if they stop us.
So that's where the party is heading towards Miss Shore?
Yes.
Okay. Is that what the rest of the party agrees? Everyone's going to Miss Shore?
Yes.
Okay.
Is Zito still with us, or did he go back to the inn?
Zito went to the inn to find Nicholas.
Okay.
Hey, Zito.
Zito.
Just calling on the ring.
Yeah, hey.
We found Nick.
Oh, hey, cool. Yeah, he wasn't here. Just that Warforged driver who's really banged up. I'm helping him out right now. I'm gonna help him go back to Upper North Edge and get his cart back.
All right. Well, if you want to join us in what's it called again?
Miss Shore.
Misty Shore.
Oh, we're already halfway there. We took a sky coach.
Oh. All right. Well, meet us there. We probably need your.
I'll try to make it back. No promises. It's really far away. It's on the other side of the city.
Yeah. The stone's not here. So yeah. Please join.
All right. So are you all hoofing it to Greyflood?
How far is it? How long would it take us to get there?
Oh, let's see. It's Greyflood. It's one district over. We'll say on foot it would take you about 45 minutes.
Yeah, let's go.
So
Is
you're
that
gonna
including my ability to shortcut it, cut the time in half?
like you would be able to find the necessary shortcuts to get down through the alleyways to find your way over there. Yes. So is that what you guys wish to do? Is to hoof it over there to Miss Shore?
Well,
Yes.
Sam, if I get us
Go right ahead.
some back ways, might be.
I hope you guys can hear him because I can't.
Yeah, we can hear it.
Yeah, for some reason I can't hear him.
Yeah, he said he's going to take the lead. Well, he asked if I wanted him to take the lead, and I said, yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
And we're going to follow in behind him.
Okay. So, some time passes. You're able to make your way through the streets, heading through the red light district of Sharn's Welcome, passing into Greyflood. And you make your way over to Miss Shore. And as you got closer to Miss Shore, it started to rain just a tad bit. It's not a heavy rain, but it's a enough to soak your clothing a bit.
Gosh, this just reminds me of when our first driver gave me her raincoat, and that was freaking venturous. Oh, guys, I can't stop thinking about it.
Looking around within the ward, you can see that reeks of fish, and you just see scorched timber everywhere. And of course, Byron, you would remember that a fire swept through this area a little over a year ago, and most of the buildings are now burnt out shells, with at best sails for roofs. And you can see, looking around the dock, fishing poles and nets line the dock.
Can I see anyone walking?
You see a few disheveled-looking individuals passing by. Look like a couple of possibly sailors. One sailor in particular who's holding a bottle and stops in the middle of the street and just there's a little bit of liquid that was left in the bottle. He doffs it real quick, and then he just sort of belches. Ah, Jezebel, I'm coming, my love. And he continues on wandering past you, about 30 yards away from you now.
Do I know
Jezebel's
roughly where this mage was staying, or rumored to have stayed?
You know that her abode and her workshop is close to what is known as Kraken's Folly, which is that beach ship that many of the residents of Mistral use as a tenement. So it's close to the docks, right on the water.
When we get around a block away from it, I'll point it out to the party and then explain to them that's the mage's building. That's where last I knew she was.
And of course, you have avoided Grinda ever since you were a child. You've been kind of scared of her because she just looks crazy. From your memory, she looked ancient when you were a kid. And you know as of late that she has been rumored to have been experimenting with creating constructs.
Oh, and she's a wonderful woman.
Good. Maybe she can point us in the right direction.
Yeah, just look in her good eye.
And as you get about a block away, you see along the side of the beached Kraken's Folly ship, you can see what appears to be individuals standing outside of what you remember to be Grinda's shop. And through the rain, that you can just make out a few individuals look like possibly humans, 5 foot to 6 foot tall, and then there's a more diminutive individual who is in the midst of them and is currently banging on the door.
I'm going to try to drift into the shadows or in the crowd, somewhere nearby.
Okay.
I will do the same.
Well, I'm not. I'm gonna walk up there and say, "What's going on here?"
As you get closer towards them, the diminutive man, which you now see is a dwarf, turns and looks in your direction through the rain, through the mist coming off of the shore, and he turns and looks and says, "There they are! Get them!" And I need you all to roll initiative.
Bring it on, half.
Did you want us to roll our stealth prior to, or not?
Yes, please.
Natural 12. Ha ha ha. Mediocrity is.
+2.
Better.
23 stealth.
What?
Nine.
Hey, can you take that knockdown that Byron was testing on me, Hall?
Sure thing. Let me just find you on the tracker real quick. There we go. No more knockdown. Let me just reveal these guys to you on the map, and then I will throw you guys on the map. And you guys can adjust yourselves however you wish before we start properly. Let me just take Zito off of the tracker.
Now,
For a moment, I read that as Nazca, you're gay.
Siegfried, you're the tank. Take the lead.
now with it being dark, wait, is it dark? No.
No, it's the middle of the day, but it's raining.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Was there enough overcast to create good enough shadows to hide well?
Yes. So there's plenty of places that you'd be able to find a decent place to hide. So yeah, you guys can, let me just make sure that's locked. There we go. So you guys can move your tokens around on the map before we start proper.
I don't have that.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah, I don't either.
I just realized I hadn't shared it yet. I am so sorry. I was so worried about making sure these tokens were set up correctly. Alright, should be loading here in a moment. Should be coming up here soon. Is that coming up for you guys?
I've got the...
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, they got it now. Okay, I was up here yelling, what's going on here?
Sarah was pretty much just right behind it.
Yep, you can move yourselves wherever you should be before the battle began. That's where you are.
Is there shadow where I'm at?
I would say yes. I'd say that there is a little bit of shadow.
If I'm looking at this correctly, the only gap through here for us to pass is right here around the corner of the ship, correct?
Correct.
Okay, just making sure. Well, as far as 10 Mile knows.
And from where you're at, I would say that he has 3/4 cover from where you're standing currently, Byron.
Oh, him? What about the guy up front?
The guy up front, he wouldn't have any cover.
Alright. Yeah, so much for talking.
You guys could still talk. You can just stand there and wait for them to come beat on you.
No, I like my ambush.
So,
Can I use an intimidate? Kill yourselves now or fall beneath my blade?
Absolutely. As part of your action, you can totally intimidate. I want you
And
to...
can he see me?
I want you... No, he can't see you. I don't think anyone can see you with the roll you had.
Out of curiosity, if I roll an ash,
That is a hit.
awesome.
I'm going to use my bonus. Do the hunter's mark.
Okay, so you're going to throw your hunter's mark on him. Okay. Byron, you pull back, knock an arrow, and Samael, as you are approaching the individuals, an arrow whizzes past your ear and catches this guy in his eye socket, and he falls dead before you.
Smile. Nice one, Byron.
I just had to see if I can do that every time. And now do I have a clean shot at the other guy?
Yes, his body has fallen, and he is staring at you with a crossbow in his hand. Well, I should say he's staring at his friends with a crossbow in his hand.
I will follow up with another shot. And he does not see me, correct?
He does not, but he still has 3/4 cover.
-5.
That's a hit.
And I will stay there.
Okay. Nicholas, it is your turn.
Can I see any of them from where I am?
Yes, from where you're standing on the edge of the shoreline, you can see you can see all of them, but they're all except for the one that is just beyond the dwarf have 3/4 cover from where they're standing. If you wanted to attack them from range.
Yeah, I'm going. Then I'm gonna the guy in the front, and at one I'm gonna shoot at him.
Okay.
My crossbow. And were they able to see me?
Let's see. You rolled a 23.
Yeah.
No, they didn't see you.
Okay. Would that be with advantage?
Correct.
All right. Oh.
That's a hit. And your bolts very quickly, 2 of them catch the guy in the side of his neck, and he falls over sputtering blood, the rain hitting his body.
I'm going to move shadow.
Okay, roll a stealth check for me as you move, unless you're using your slip into shadow.
Well, I revealed myself with a shot. I was going to go over there to hide.
Okay. So, yep, using your bonus action, you can hide.
$23.
Hey, look at that, 23 again.
Move back into the shadows after I revealed myself. And that's going to end my turn.
Okay. Nazca, seeing that he's been now struck, 2 of his men have been struck, fall down. You hear he yells out, "Well, what the hell are y'all waiting for? Attack them!" And he starts to move towards the back of the platform here, and he's going to attempt to take a shot at Samael. But Samael, you have 3/4 cover from him. Actually, you know what? He can't even see you from where he's standing, so he's gonna hold his action and stand back.
Okay.
And as he runs backwards, Samael, you can just see, you can hear bubbling and disturbances from the water near this dwarf. And popping up out of the water is a scaled bipedal individual who seems to be rising up in the water.
Guys, this may be more complex than we thought. Be ready.
going to, after rising up out of the water, you see it say something to Nazca, to this dwarf, and then it very quickly slip under the water again. Out of sight. And there is a sudden disturbance in the water next to you, Zara and Samael, as popping out of the water is another of these scaly individuals. And it lunges up towards the edge next to you and takes its harpoon and attempts to stab at Zara. Damn it, I did not mean to do that. Zara, you just feel this bit of moisture, the rain pelting you all, and then a bit more moisture rushing as water rushes up the wake of this creature emerging from the water, from the harbor, and attempts to stab at you with its harpoon. And when it misses, it then lunges out and attempts to bite at you. And you just manage to duck out of the way as you do. And Siegfried, it's your turn.
Well, obviously, among seeing my friends in trouble, I need to immediately try to help.
You saw a giant fish man come out of the wharf, leap out like a ninja, and try to stab Zara with a harpoon.
No ninjas allowed unless there are ninjas. I'm going to cast Dissonant Whispers.
Go for it. Well, he rolled it twice, but he failed both times.
Sorry about that. Sometimes I have to double click.
The sound from your psychic attack reverberates, and the creature grabs the side of its head and screeches. Does that complete your turn?
Yep, it has to use his full reaction movement to move as far as it can from me.
On its turn or on your turn?
It says it has to use this as far as it possibly.
Let's read that together, shall we? Because I'm pretty sure that's on its turn.
It takes 3d6 fiction and must immediately use its
there we
reaction.
go. Its reaction. Okay. To move as far as its speed allows. Okay. Well, in that case, it will jump into the water. You watch as it leaps into the water and disappears from sight. The wake of the creature swimming through the water, creating rivulets out in the ward. And Samael, it is your turn. And I would say that you could both make opportunity attacks on the creature. Let me put it back on the tracker for you.
Yeah, I will.
Alright, I'm going to do that.
I'll put him right back where he was.
Sorry. Alright, I'm going to attack with my help. Not of luck.
That's a hit.
Rolled a 1.
I saw that. Apparently this halberd that you have is not doing too well for you. And that is also a hit, Samael.
When the bard out damages the two increase.
Bards are OP, man. I told you that.
Alright. Samael, you wish to go over,
There.
tippy toe over? Sure thing.
Yep. Okay, and on that, I will end my turn.
Brunhild, it's your turn.
Well, I can't hit anything, so I'm just gonna move as far as I can.
Well, you can run 50 feet if you're not going to attack anything. You also have your range attacks that you can use.
Yeah, I just don't know if at 25 feet I'm gonna be able to hit anything successful, but I guess I can try.
Never hurts to try. Or as I like to say, you can certainly try.
I mean, even if you have disadvantage, it's possible to roll 2 nat 1.
That's right, I have to roll at disadvantage, right? Because it's further than the distance.
That is correct. That is a hit. Even at disadvantage, you're able to hurl your hand axe with precision. And it thunks into the man's brain, splitting his skull, and he falls dead.
And I will complete.
And Zara, it is your turn. You watched a fish man flop up out of the water, try to stab at you, and then duck back into the water after Siegfried sent a strange psionic shockwave towards it.
Alright, I'm going to harpoon you back. So, I'm going to cast... Oh, just kidding. He's gone.
Yeah, he ran away. He went into the water and disappeared.
I'm just like... I just say that, I'm like, wait! Where did he go? Ah! Ah, damn it. I'm going to, like, slip by... Let's... I'm going to move there, and then I'm just going to try to attack the other...
Okay. You see a very nervous-looking dwarf standing at the end of the wharf. And you see another bandit holding his weapon in his hand, looking first at Samael and then towards you.
You know, if you get on your knees and lay on the ground, I won't kill.
And as you say that, Zara, Noska's going to go ahead and take his held action and fire at you.
Oh, great.
I'm just kidding.
I could.
Are you swinging at the air?
That's a 10.
Zara swings her halberd out in front of her, hitting the air. The air is not pleased.
Yeah.
She immediately starts to suffocate.
But that wouldn't have hit anyways, right?
No, unfortunately, no. Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah.
Okay. As suddenly the water next to you, Samael, suddenly another one of these fish people jumps out of the water. And attempts to stab at you with its harpoon. Screeching some unintelligible nonsense and manages to stab you center mass with a critical hit.
With the what hit?
Sorry, I meant not a critical. So let me cut that in half. You only took 8 damage.
You know, the fact that we have to have this critical hit conversation every single session is really suspect. Critical hits.
No, you know what? I need to program into your character that there's a way to program in Fantasy Grounds so that the critical hits turn into regular hits.
No, I mean, but I get critical every single.
That's true. Let me just put in immune to critical. That should fix it. There you go.
Hey, at least I
Samael
have
is
to
the crit target.
So again, the harpoon does nothing. Just takes shaves a little bit off of you, and as you grin back at the creature, it attempts to bite you in the soft part of your neck. Oh my god! It actually hit you again with another critical.
This is getting more and more suspect. It always comes in twos.
Crit every session, 2 times.
There we go. It worked. Partially resisted. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on, but apparently Fantasy Grounds does not like Kevin.
That's
This is
okay.
my bias. Like every time I get hit by crit, there's another one right after it.
That'd be like if Brunhild kept getting hit with poisons over and over.
And the bandit is going to rush past up to Zara and attempts to slice you with its scimitar. Zara. And you manage to duck out of the way as it clang into the side of Kraken's Folly, the boat. He manages, pulls it back like he's getting ready to swing again. Noska is going to pull out his crossbow and take his held action, firing at Samael. If this rolls a critical, I'm reloading Fantasy Grounds. It did not roll a critical, but it rolled a 19.
Yep. And y'all wonder why I keep running my AC up above 20.
As let's see. Siegfried, it is your turn.
Let me see here. I'm going to move there and then pull my action for the moment.
Okay. On Nazca's turn, he's going to reload his crossbow and attempt to strike at Samael again. And he misses. And you hear him yell out, "What are you waiting for? Plug him!" And Nicholas, it is your turn.
Alright, I am going to... I'm gonna move up to... Oh, not that far.
Okay, gonna move up on the side on the dock.
Right. I'll use my dash.
Okay.
So I'll use bonus action dash to get there so I can actually see him. I was realizing I can't really see behind that ship, so...
Yeah, there's a building in your way.
Yeah, so I have to be where I am. So I'm going to use my bonus action to dash, and I'm going to fire my double crossbow.
Oh, well, are you going to move before you fire? Because you can't fire at anything except for that guy.
Oh, he's in the way?
Yeah, there's a building in the way. Who are you firing at? The bandit that's in front of Zara?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Alright, there we go.
There you go. And you hit. I like how yours says sneak attack wait. It's like wait for this sneak attack, y'all.
That's, I don't know why it's called that.
Okay.
It is.
Your bolts strike him in the side, and he goes flying a couple of feet, dead on the ground.
I vote every time we fire a weapon like a crossbow or anything, we have to put reload in the chat to make sure that we reloaded.
What's part of your action to reload?
Well, I'm just saying, so we don't just not reload and then fire again.
No, but I mean, it's a part of your action. Like, once you fire, it's automatic. You reload.
Just as long as you're remembering that you have bolts and that you haven't run out of bolts, because I do keep track of that.
Yeah, no, I keep track of that too.
Because eventually, when you go to fire your crossbow bolt, it's gonna miss automatically. And Brunhild, it's your turn.
Awesome.
So Brunhild running around, I'll say that you're there so that you're not right on top of Samael. There you go.
And I'm gonna try to hit it with a hammer.
You go ahead and hit it with that hammer. That is definitely a hit. Pulling back your maul, you swing forth and smack it in the side of its fleshy, scaly hide. And in reaction to you running past and attacking this amphibious creature, suddenly from over the edge of the boat, 20 feet in the air, emerges a man holding a crossbow. And he fires it at Zara. And manages to hit her. Zara, you just feel this horrible, piercing pain as the arrow, the bolt, catches you in your shoulder and sticking out of your shoulder. And you can hear Nazca now laughing from the door, the into the wharf, going, "Ha ha ha! See? Get out here, you fools, and kill them all!" And then, from under Siegfried, you watch as rushing out of the water and leaping up, out, directly in front of you, you see that same marrow. How's that save work? Does that only last for one round?
Yeah, as soon as it's its turn again, it can move back.
Okay, well in that case, it will go ahead and take its attack. It attempts to stab you in the chest with its harpoon. And it catches you center mass with a critical hit. But don't worry, it rolled really low on its critical.
Jeremy,
then-
I want you to roll my attacks from now on.
Okay, sure. Just for fun, your next round, I'll roll your attacks.
Yeah, I'm not going to attack next round.
Okay. All right, so the marrow then attempts to bite you, Siegfried, as it has stuck its harpoon in its chest and it snarls at you. And I don't know why I'm attacking Zara. I did not mean to attack Zara.
That would have missed me.
I know. I'm going to roll it again because I did not mean to roll on her. That's a natural one. Popping up from over the side. Nicholas, are you still stealthing or did you move without stealthing? I did not see you roll a stealth.
Yeah, no, I had a dash to get there so that I could not hide.
Okay. Well, in that case, bandit number 3 is going to try to plug you with his light crossbow. I swear
You
if
can
this rolls,
certainly try.
I swear if this rolls a critical hit, hey, it still hits you. It's not a critical though. Nicholas, I'm immune to criticals. No, you're not.
It's only a flesh wound.
'Tis only a flesh wound, he says as the bolt hits him. Bandit number 4 pops up over the edge of the boat. Leveling his crossbow, he's going to attempt to fire at Siegfried. But the bolt ploop, ploop into the water just beyond, narrowly missing you, Siegfried.
I'll need the map again. I was trying to do something and it just closed it up.
Okay. Nicholas, you hear the sound of the water being disturbed as one of the amphibious creature pops up behind you and attempts to stab you in the back with its harpoon. And it just narrowly misses you. It snarls and rears back, and then you can just hear the sound of its teeth chomping as it attempts to bite you in the back of your neck. And again, you manage to duck out of the way, narrowly avoiding its sharp teeth as it chomps just behind you. And Byron, it is your turn.
I'm going to the bandit that just shot Siegfried in the back. I'll shoot him. That's up.
Okay. That's definitely a hit. For some reason, everyone lost connection at the same time. Byron, turning to look up, tracing the line of fire from the top of the ship, just managed to plug him in the side of his head, the arrow piercing into his ear canal, and he flips over the edge of the boat and falls dead.
And as a bonus action, bandit number 3.
That is also a hit. plugging the bandit again. This arrow catches him in his throat, passing through his esophagus. He lets out a death rattle as he also slumps over the edge, the blood gushing out, spraying over, arterial spray over the amphibious creature.
And I will complete my turn.
Okay. Samael, it is your turn.
I am extremely thirsty. Hold on. Out of this greater healing potion I have.
Okay. I believe that's what, 12 hit points back?
Yes. Alright, I've already made the adjustment.
I think you just did.
Yeah, I just made it.
Okay. That was your bonus action. What would you like to do with your attack? Would you like me to attack for you? We can run this theory of yours.
Yes, I'm already targeting there at 3. Go ahead.
What would you like to attack with?
The Keeper's Fang.
Keeper's Fang? Okay. Let's see what happens. If this rolls a critical, I need to re-load Fantasy Grounds. Hey, it hit.
It did. Go ahead and roll the damage, too. Would you look at that? Max damage.
Yeah, in defense, you have been rolling max damage the whole time.
Yeah, that is true.
That was still a very, very funny...
Well, it looks like we've broken the critical hit streak.
It's true.
Okay.
Okay. Bandit number 5. Let's see if he can see. I highly doubt it, but you never know. He might roll a natural 20. You never know. Nope. He doesn't see. He's watching his friends die left and right, and he can't figure out who is killing them. So he's going to turn his attention to Siegfried and attempt to plug him from above. And he misses him. The bolt passes harmlessly past him. On the amphibious creature's turn, it is going to attempt to stab at Brunhild, this newcomer that attempted to hit it.
I did not attempt.
Oh, you did hit it, and it's hitting you back. The harpoon pierces into your leg and sticks you, and then reaches forward and attempts to bite you, Brunhild.
Ow!
And it hits. And sinks its sharp teeth into the side of your face, tearing a chunk out of your cheek. And Zara, it is your turn. There are giant fish people all trying to kill your friends. And you're getting plugged from above by bandits.
Well, seeing I'm going to cast. Okay, Fantasy Grounds just refreshed. Well, I'm going to cast a Prayer of Healing on 6 people.
Prayer of Healing?
Yes.
How does that work?
It heals up to 6 people. I think it's 2d8 plus something, but my Fantasy Grounds just...
I believe it takes 10 minutes to cast that.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
Well,
Look at the spell.
I'm getting back into Fantasy Grounds right now.
Yeah, it takes you 10 minutes to cast that.
Alright, well, I guess I'm going to do... Samael, are you
Am I what?
alive? Do you need healing?
Brunhild's kind of rough over here.
Zara, you just watched this fishman harpoon Brunhild's leg and then take a bite out of her face.
Yeah, alright. Well, I'm going to...
And the big guy's the one to be worried about for health.
How close am I to Brunhild? I can't, I'm just logging in.
Well, she should be within range of a healing word, but you could walk up to her and cast Cure Wounds on her as well.
She's only 15 feet from me.
Yeah, I'm going to walk up with her and cast Cure Wound.
Okay,
If you do so, you'll get an attack of opportunity.
that is true. Would you like to take that risk or use your healing word?
Sure, I'll take...
Take the risk.
I like it.
Alright, I'm going to heal her.
Alright. The marrow will take a swipe at you.
For 8 hit points.
And he nearly criticals you.
If you don't go down.
You take 11 damage.
Yeah.
As you stumble towards your friend and use your Cure Wounds, I believe you're using.
Yep.
Alright, I will reload the map because apparently Fantasy Grounds is taking a crap tonight. There we go. Hopefully that loads up okay for you guys.
Yeah, load it up for me. Thanks, man.
And, as my bonus action, can I take out a healing potion?
And drink one? I believe it's... Yes. You used your action to use Cure Wounds, you still have your bonus action.
Alright, I'm going to,
I just imagine Zara staggering towards Brunhild, slaps her on the back to heal her, and then fumbles on her belt for a healing potion.
Before falling on her butt.
Yeah, I'm going to use a... Yeah, I'm gonna use a greater. Great. I'm feeling my save. And that's the end of my turn.
As you're chugging, you see Samuel give you a smile and a thumbs up.
Wow, that's terrible. 1, 1, 1, 2.
Mine just did 12. Don't feel bad.
11's not bad. You're only down 10 hit points now.
It could have been 8.
I do a peace sign. Alright, so my...
Byron, it is your turn.
Excellent. I'm going to target that. The new bandit on top of the...
The one that just appeared?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bandit number 5.
That's a hit. And plug him in his head. And that's also a hit. And in quick succession, you plug him with 2 arrows and he falls dead.
And I'll complete my turn.
On Noska's turn, he is going to stride forth. And he's going to attempt to hit Zara with his mace.
You fight well, pretty lady, but I can't let you have it.
And he rolls a natural 1.
Holy ugly man.
And he sort of, your statement, Zara, he snarls and he says, "Call me ugly, I'll make you ugly." And he attempts to hit you again. And he misses again, as you duck and dodge deftly out of the way. And Siegfried, it is your turn.
Siegfried, calmly and bloodily, as blood splashes to ground around him, pulls out his rapier and stabs at Rotu.
That unfortunately is a miss. It definitely twists its body to the side, and your rapier just manages to miss it. Marrow number 1 is going to continue its attacks on you, Nicholas.
All right.
Because it doesn't like you. And it wants you to hurt.
Ow.
And it says something terrible about your mother as it stabs you. And you fall to the ground, unconscious. And it's going to attack you again while you fall down. And that is one failed death save as it bites into your neck. And Brunhild, it is your turn.
I'm gonna try to hit it again.
You hear the sounds of Nicholas Highhill wailing, and then suddenly silence from behind you.
Yeah, I can't do that, but girl, you should go help your husband for real. Anything.
Unfortunately, that is a miss. Would you like to use your special ability if you still have it?
Did since I've used it last.
How long does it take to recharge?
1 day.
Oh, yeah, okay. Then, yeah, unfortunately, it's not been long enough.
I can't be an awesome fighter doing fighter things for another day. So.
You're still awesome in my book, Brunhild.
Thanks, even if I can't hit the
The
thing
broadside,
with the big hammer.
the broadside of a marrow. Siegfried, the marrow that's in front of you stabs out again with its harpoon attack, striking down and piercing you into the ground in front of it. It then reaches down and attempts to bite you right in the back of your head. But it just manages to miss. Apparently, its first attack was too powerful, so powerful in fact that it sort of pushed you away from its mouth, the reach of its mouth.
We will not.
The marrow that is currently staring bloody murder at Samael attempts to stab him with its harpoon. And misses. It then attempts to sink its teeth into the soft, fleshy bit of his face, and also misses.
I have no soft fleshy bits. Ha.
I know, you're just a walking tin can. And Nicholas, if you'd be so kind as to roll a death save for me. Remember, on a fail. Oh, hey, that's a success. So far you have 1 failure, 1 success.
Yeah. And I'm gonna end my turn.
Zara, it is your turn. You have a nasty, foul-smelling dwarf standing in front of you. And you also have this Nazca guy.
Took me a second, I got that.
I'm glad you got that.
Yeah, it took me a second.
Alright, I see my husband. Well, do I see him? I imagine I...
You heard his wail as he fell to the ground, and then you heard him no more. And you're just out of eyesight. I would say if you turned and looked that way, you would see his feet on the ground. Looks like he is on his tummy for some reason.
I always see my husband.
Well,
alright,
yeah, he's sitting in the room with you right now at another computer.
I'm going to cast Healing Word on him.
Okay. Ah, nice. Nicholas. Just take some... Nicholas, you are no longer unconscious. Your eyes flutter awake. You are prone, though, unfortunately.
Okay.
And I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Spiritual Weapon.
Okay.
And target Noska Urgay.
You're gay.
Noska, you're gay. One of these days, I will get around to changing that to yours. I apologize. An ethereal weapon made of pure light manifests next to Noska. And as part of its you are able to attack with it, if you remember, as part of your summoning it.
I'm going to attack. And that's an 8.
That is a hit. You also dealt 12 damage to yourself for some reason there, Zara.
Yeah.
Let me fix that
why
for
is
you.
that?
There you go. Yeah, you had yourself targeted as well. Not sure why.
Oh, okay. I'm not seeing much.
Okay. Bandit number 7's turn. He is knocking a crossbow bolt, and he's attempting to plug you with it, Zara, because it's a thing to do. And he just manages to miss you as the crossbow bolt nearly hits Noska in the face and dunks into the rowboat just behind him. Noska says, "Hey, watch that!" And Samael, it is your turn.
Very well. I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark on the Mirror 3 in front of me.
Okay.
And then I'm going to attack.
That is a hit.
Very well, and I'll end my turn.
Samael, with your Keeper's Fang dagger, you strike the creature in the side of its hip, and it screeches out in pain. And Siegfried, is your turn. That is a hit.
I hit him. I also activate my defensive fury. So he takes, on top of this damage, he will take a d6 and I'll gain a d6 and AC until my next turn.
Okay. If there's an effect on your sheet, you can apply that to yourself.
I don't think.
So you'll have to roll a d6, so that's one more damage to the creature.
And my AC goes up by 1.
Okay. Does that complete your turn?
Yes.
Okay. Bandit number 7, scanning around and seeing a prone Nicholas, is going to take a shot at him. And he hits him. Nicholas, you feel the bolt pierce your back of your calf muscle. Mare number 3 takes its claws and attempts to rake them across Samael's chest. And just manages to hit. It then attempts to bite you after rocking you with this scratch across your chest. But it rolls a natural 1.
Nice.
Nazca, seeing this manifestation of this glowing weapon, looks a little bit concerned. And he's going to attempt to strike out at you, Zara, with his mace. Sort of yells, "Ah!" Missing twice. He then turns tail and attempts to run towards the rowboat. Would you like to attack him?
Oh, definitely. Ugly man. Yeah, can I use my spiritual weapon to attack?
I would say this would be a normal. But, hey, you know what? Go ahead. Spiritual weapon. Why not?
Yeah. I mean, it's sitting right there.
Exactly. It's a hit. Nazca stumbles a few feet, spitting blood, and then begins rowing away. And I don't have another token there, so I'm just gonna assume that he is currently rowing away from all of you. On the Marrow's turn, it pulls back with its harpoon and is going to stab straight down at Nicholas. And Nicholas, you feel again, right in the middle of your back, center mass, this harpoon stabs straight through your torso, and you are unconscious again. The marrow then, once again, bites your prone form. And another one and a death save. That's one failed death save off of you as it bites into your prone unconscious body. Marrow number 2 slashes its claws across Siegfried's chest. And knocks Siegfried down on the ground. And then over your body bites you, sinking its teeth into the fleshy bit just under your armpit. And that is one failed death save on you, Siegfried. And Byron, it is your turn. You've just watched 2 of your companions fall down to these disgusting amphibious fishy creatures.
I'm going to strike out at Marrow number 2.
Okay. That is a hit. I like how Byron just sits back the entire combat and just taking shots. Bloop, bloop, bloop.
He's a sniper.
At least
That's what he's
people
supposed
die.
to do.
It is. He is the sniper. You need an anti-amphibious man weapon. So, in quick succession, Byron, you knock an arrow and fire one after another. And the second one finds the creature's eyeball, and sticking out of its eye, it lurches over the edge of the railing and falls into the water, dead.
And by chance, did I see the bandit number 7 on top of the boat? Or is he not visible to me?
Unfortunately, he is too far away from the edge of that side of the boat to see.
So I don't even know he's there.
Yeah, all you've been hearing is the sounds of arrows being fired and people screaming in pain.
Alright, and I'll pass my turn.
Okay, Nicholas, make a death save.
Rolling. There.
And there's one success.
I'm gonna have my turn.
Okay. And Zara, it is your turn. You once again heard the sounds of your husband and now your friend Siegfried both make out horrible death rattle noises. Turning
And the
back,
bad guy's getting away.
and this dwarf appears to be getting away.
Not me though. I'm still there.
Or is she?
Well, what would Nick want me to do? Save him or kill the bad? I'm going to kill the bad guy. Oh, wait,
Preferably,
I
he
don't
wants you to do both.
You know, I can do both, actually. If I move, no attacks of opportunity, right?
Correct.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and use my bonus action to move my spiritual weapon to said getting away dwarf
Okay.
and attack.
And you can move the token, just like moving a person. You can just move it. See? Your spiritual weapon made of light and the heavy downpour now arcs across, reeling back, and smashes Noska in the side of his head. Well, you love rolling those ones.
I think it's fantasy grounds because we've all rolling low on damage, except for Mr. Samael rolling max damage.
And taking max damage.
Okay. Zara, you go running around the corner. You see both the prone forms of your husband and Siegfried.
And I'm going to pull out a great healing potion and stick it down Nicholas.
Okay.
So he will get
Alright. Nicholas, you'll get 14 hit points back.
14 hit.
Wow.
It's not bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna stand right there and actually have my halberd handy. Siegfried, don't worry, you're next. That's in my
Okay. Brunhild, it's your turn.
Yay!
That is a critical hit. Brunhild Drorna.
Well, this took a
Very nice.
I hit the thing with the hammer!
Brunhild, spinning her hammer in her hand like Thor's hammer, uppercuts the marrow and uppercuts its head clean off of its body.
No, Thor uses one. That was two-handed action.
Hey, can we cut out that in-game spoiler? Come on, guys.
And Samael, is your turn.
I'm gonna move towards the edge of the pier right there.
Okay.
I'm transferring my Hunter's Mark over to Nazca,
All right.
and I'm throwing the Keeper's Fang.
Okay. That is a hit. There is a deafening echo of what sounds like bones crunching in your ears, Samael. And your vision goes blood red for a moment, and then hazy green, and you feel sick to your stomach. And the Keeper's Fang is back in your hand with blood coating it, dripping down your hand as you watch Nazca Urge slip dead into the water over the edge of the rowboat.
Death comes for us all. No one escapes.
Did he refer to himself as Death?
Maybe. Okay, and I will move there, and then
Pass your
end
turn.
my turn.
It is
And
your
it's
turn
my turn
again.
again.
You s-
I'm
you s-
transferring my Hunter's Mark over to Marrow 1.
Okay.
Give me 1 second, the effect is showing this active.
No, you have to redo it every single round.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah. The effect is incorrect. Fantasy.
Yeah, for
Okay.
some reason it you have to reset it each time.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm gonna move it there in front of Marrow 1.
Alrighty. And that is a miss, unfortunately.
Okay, I missed, and I will end my turn.
Okay, Zara, it is your turn. Nicholas, his eyes
I'm
are fluttering open, and he's groaning beneath you. Samael strode forth and attempted to stab at the creature with his Keeper's Fang.
Alright, alright. I'm going to run over to... And, I'm going to use a potion of healing for...
And you guys are going through them potions tonight.
Yeah.
Okay, Siegfried, you're...
And that's not bad, actually.
Yeah, it's 9 hit points. It's not bad at all.
I'm alive.
And I'm going to use my bonus action to move my spiritual weapon to... And that's the end of my turn. I can only move it 20 feet.
Okay. Nicholas, it is your turn.
Alright, I'm going to use half my movement to get up.
Okay.
Disengage.
Alrighty.
This away. I'm going to fire my crossbow.
By the way, you have yourself and the marrow targeted.
Ah,
And you miss.
just so overwhelmed by what just happened that I can't see names straight. And I'm going to end my turn right there.
And Byron, it is your turn. And you currently have yourself also targeted, Byron.
That was weird. Okay, I'll attack Muro number 1.
Okay. That is a hit. Knocking your arrow back, and your arrow flies across and hits the creature in the side of its chest.
Attack.
And that is also a hit. Damn. 5, 5, and 5. And Siegfried, it's your turn. You are currently on your ass with Zara staring at you.
I'll get up using my movement speed.
Yep.
Crossbow and
half
take
your
fire
movement.
at the Evenus monster.
That is a hit. The creature is now riddled with arrows and bolts sticking out of its body. It screeches as it's pulling them out with one of its free hands.
I don't D6 is like me.
Don't play Yahtzee.
Bandit number 7, seeing a new target and Nicholas Highhill below him, he attempts to fire at him. But he misses. A bolt several inches away from your foot plugs into the ground from above you, Nicholas.
I'll look up.
On the Marrow's turn, it rears back with its clawed hand and attempts to rake Samael across the chest. But rolls a natural 1.
Out of fear.
And then attempts to bite you on the neck. And also, its jaws snap shut just shy of your face.
I didn't even move much.
And Brunhild, it's your turn.
Yay. I'll throw an axe to that bandit then.
Go for it. That's a critical hit. I think that's what, 2, 3 criticals for you this round?
Yeah.
I just go around throwing axes like it's my business.
And she rolled max damage.
The man's head is split in half, and you watch as his body tumbles down to the ground. Is that the end of your turn? As really, for some reason, both Fantasy Grounds and Discord have been acting weird tonight.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah, it has.
Siegfried, it is your turn.
I'm gonna look him dead in the eyes with all the arrows in him, and I'm gonna do my favorite trick.
And what trick would that be, Siegfried?
I'm gonna do my heat metal.
Okay, well, he fails.
So he will not be able to pull any of those arrows out, and he has to drop anything metal he's holding.
Well, he's dead, so
But turn
the
to ashes.
side of his chest explodes in chunks of detritus and bile and just gross innards spill out onto the dock and into the water.
And Samael.
And Samael. And you are all out of combat.
Yay!
Siegfried the finisher.
Nice, Siegfried. I'm gonna go check that guy on the boat real quick because he was trying to run away with something.
Okay.
He's just covered in blood and just coughs a bit of. He opens his mouth to object. Out.
As you're all
Thank you, Byron.
So, Samuel, you leap into the water along with Nicholas and fish his body out of the water.
I thought he fell on the boat.
No, he fell over the boat, the edge of the boat, into the water.
Yes, I will leap into the water and drag his body out.
Yeah, I will help him.
Okay.
Before he jumps in, I look at Samuel. You do have armor on. Let me do it.
I'm stronger, and you keep getting caught. Let me.
I'll jump in with you then.
I'm gonna sink faster. I'm wearing armor.
And you all received 236 experience points for that encounter.
Awesome.
Even Zito, even though he wasn't here.
I run over and cast dancing lights to go down with them to try to help give them a bit of light as they go down.
Okay.
Trail of blood from the blood I had spilled out trailing behind me.
The body had started to float away, but you easily were able to grab it and fish it to shore. And pulling Nazca's body onto the sand, you see that he's just a standard run-of-the-mill dwarf. His skin is a bit darker, and his left hand and forearm have been replaced with a heavy crossbow that is attached to the stump.
Intriguing.
I want to search
You
his
also
body.
notice that his skin has ritualistic carvings all over the surface of his skin in the shape of what looks like eyes.
Ew. Samuel, do you see this?
See what?
This ritualistic stuff. Creeps me out, man.
Is that what it is?
I mean, I wouldn't know what else it could be.
You're a wizard, man. It shouldn't creep you out. Tell me what it says.
Does it say anything, or is it just like symbols?
It just looks like eyes, like carved over and over and over again in his skin. They look like scars, like he did this to himself with a knife, or somebody did it to him.
It looks like somebody did it to him, or he did it to himself. Probably thinks it's cool.
It doesn't mean anything. He just thinks it's cool.
Probably means something to his gang or whoever he rolls with.
Lame.
Yeah. Anything in his pockets?
Doesn't appear to be anything of value in his pockets, just a bit of lint, which is now soggy from the briny river water. And
Well,
as you're fidgeting and checking the body, and the rest of you are checking your wounds and healing yourselves up, you hear the sound of an unlatching, like a and the door to the ramshackle building opens up, and you see an old crone who sticks her head out and says, "Are they all dead?"
Yeah, you killed them all.
"Splendid!"
Hey, you wouldn't happen to have the Stone of Galore, would you?
"No. I gave it to my familiar and stole it to go stash it in our family's mausoleum.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I wasn't about to have that terrible beholder get his tentacles on it.
Which beholder is that?
That would be Zesh. He's the leader of the Zesh Guild."
Ah, they're after this now, too. Okay. Do you mind if we go retrieve that?
No, go ahead. I'd rather you have it than he do. You'll need this.
Great.
And she pulls out a little metal key on a ring and she hands it to you. This'll get you into the mausoleum.
Thanks.
We should have tea with her sometime.
You also need this. And she hands you a little scrip of paper that seems to be directions, an overhead view of the city of the dead. You'll find their mausoleum right here. And she points to a place very close to Halden's tomb, actually.
Any traps or anything we need to know about?
No! No
What's
traps!
What's your familiar's name if we run into him?
Oh, he doesn't have a name. It's just a rat. I change them all the time.
Ah, gotcha.
I just call him Rat.
Well, we thank you for the assistance.
Okay, goodbye! And she closes the door in your face.
She seemed eccentric. Let's go get that.
What kind of people?
I like her.
Like I said, we need to have tea with her.
We should. We'll come back here in some off time and go have tea with her. I'll make a note.
All right, you're now standing in the midst of the rain. Now has started to dwindle a little bit, but you're still all drenched, soaked to the bone right now, and you're cold and wet. And of course, you all know that the City of the Dead exists. You've been there before when you all traveled there to find Samael's friend and save her. And it's also where you met Gath.
My buddy.
No one's gonna turn into stone again, right? He looks back at Nicholas.
Hey man, all I remember is getting out of my backpack and that's it. So I assume don't touch it. And I don't know. That's all I remember. So it's the stone. Put it immediately back in the bag.
Were you playing with it?
No. I mean, was I? I mean, all I remember is reaching in the bag to grab it. Coach.
I know. I was talking. Was it you? Who was?
No, I don't think it was me.
That was Byron.
Oh,
Yeah,
Byron. Byron doesn't mess up much. That's probably why it slipped my mind.
Byron. I just want you to know, buddy, I'm glad I traded this dagger for getting you unpetrified.
Yeah, I think it worked out beneficially.
I think so as well.
Nicholas, I guess do apology for thinking every time something goes wrong it's your fault. I'm sorry.
I know, man. Everybody just so against me all the time.
Not against you, it's just kind of the go-to if something just goes wrong. And it's not necessarily your fault all the time, but it's just a very obvious pattern half the time. But it keeps life entertaining, so get over here, get with the group.
I don't blame you, Nick. I really don't. I, have our strengths. I don't blame you, except that you dated that bitch face. But it's not really your fault. But no, I don't blame you, Nick.
Well, that's cold. That's cold. Nick, you don't have to deal with that, man.
Guys, I understand that we're all getting along and happy right now, but Nick, it's still your fault. Let's go.
I have no idea what's going on.
Everything's Nick's fault, Broomheld. That's all you need to know. Let's go.
That seems legit. All right.
It's not all.
You can name one time it wasn't Nick's fault. I'll accept it, and I'll take back my statement.
When you told the captain all the secret, and well, Luke wasn't his fault.
You mean the one time he didn't lie?
Alright, guys. Before we get into like a royal parole, let's
Byron's right though. He did say one reason, so I have to take back what I said. I'm a man of my word.
And if there was a royal brawl, I think Broomhill would.
Are we going home?
No, we're talking about me winning in battles.
Siegfried just hugs Nick.
Okay. I tap on the shoulder.
Come around and it's like, come on, let's go home, man.
So, what are you all doing?
Going home,
home,
I want to
guys.
sleep.
Okay.
Let's get
Yeah,
this
I'm
done.
already on the way.
Oh, we need to go get this. I will go get it then.
We can do it after we sleep.
Siegfried slaps his fingers and his glider just pops up and he just flies over the building.
I mean,
Yeah,
I could
no
heal
one
us
knows
and
what it is, but us.
I disagree with that.
We'd have to get home anyways and get the cart before we can do anything. The sky carriage.
I don't know. I mean, I kind of agree with Nick. It might not be there. I mean, I can heal all of us if I take a
If
couple.
Nick hadn't been playing with it, it'd been here. Well, let's go.
So, are you guys going to the mausoleum or are you going home? Going home? Is that unanimous or are you guys splitting the party?
No party splitting.
All right. So I'll say, with Byron's ability to zip this way and that way down the alleyways, showing you secret ways through Grey Flood,
Dead though.
you're able to make your way back to the familiar site of Troll Skull Alley. And as you approach Troll Skull Alley, the rain now has subsided, and you can see what appears to be several individuals wearing very, very simple burlap robes. White, almost dingy though, and they're all on their knees scrubbing the cobblestone.
Hey guys.
Is that who I think it is?
Oh hey, what's up guys? It's me!
Hey.
It's me, Bryn!
Bren!
Juggle some torches!
You guys are so funny!
What are you guys doing here, man?
Oh man, I heard about what happened. It's crazy. You know, we were just passing through the area and we're checking up on, and I was just going to come by and have a drink and a bite to eat, and we saw this blast. I don't know, horrible. Heard about all the death and destruction. We decided to just go ahead and clean it up for you guys.
Man, you guys are the best. You know that?
No, man, you're the best.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, Brent. And Zara's gonna like run in. I want to talk to anyone else. I'll go sleep.
You're just going to
Hey,
go
Bryn.
inside and go to sleep?
Bren, you seen any other guys coming around here lately while you've been out here cleaning?
What do you mean, man?
Just anybody that looks unusual, stand outish. You know, somebody you would remember.
There were these three drow guys. I think that's what they're called. Dark elf drow people. They went inside the manor, man. They'd been in the tap room for hours.
That's exactly who I was looking for. Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna head on in too.
And when I went in, I had took Nick's hand and I was dragging him.
Did you go into the tap room or did you go straight upstairs?
We went straight upstairs.
Okay.
I'll be following Samurai.
I'll go with Samael too.
As you enter the tap room, you see three individuals seated behind or in front of the tap room bar. And a bit of a flustered and rosy-cheeked Lydia is giggling and laughing as you all wander in, and her happy demeanor sort of changes to that of recognition and oh shit, as you all walk into the tap room. And in unison, all three of the drow gentlemen spin around on the stools and face all three of you.
Gentlemen, glad to see you're enjoying the establishment.
Samael.
Yes, I am he.
Who else is in the tap room with him?
I am.
I am as well.
Well, you know why we're here.
I did. I just received your letter, actually. We are not currently in possession of the stone yet, though. We are still in progress to getting it. We know exactly where it's at.
Where is it?
It's in a mausoleum right now. We've got directions to it. We're going to go pick it up first thing in the morning.
He stands up and he says, that won't be necessary. We'll go get it.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either, because there's a method of payment we're supposed to be receiving for finding the stone and locating its whereabouts. And I promised our friend that I would go get it. So I'm afraid not. Once I do get it in my possession, I'll be happy to give it to you, though.
Samael, you know who we work for.
The same person I work for, so I don't see where there's a problem.
He sort of just stares at you, and then you see as he turns to his friend, and his friend is making signs with his hand to him.
I'm ready my crossbow.
And he nods. He nods his head to the man, and he turns. He looks back at you, and he says, "You have 1 day. Either bring it to us by sundown tomorrow, or you... No, I don't really know what is going to happen."
Let me go ahead and save you a little bit of trouble there. There's no need for threats. I've already told you I'm a man of my word, and I've worked out this deal between me and the same person that we work for. Give me a chance to prove that I'm a man of my word, and I will deliver it. There's no reason to threaten anybody, and I want to get it just as badly as you do. So, we can leave it at that, and I'll see you tomorrow evening.
Let me be clear, lower born. It is true that we work for the same employer, but we are not in any way, shape, or form on the same level. We are not equals. We are Volkorian, and you're scum.
Let me be clear. Me and my friends don't have the benefit of having a dance troupe named for a title, but we still get shit done. The door's over there.
We'll see you tomorrow evening.
Can't wait.
And all three of them stand up and in unison together zip out of the tap room as fast as you've ever seen someone move.
Hey, Byron.
Yep.
How many hundreds of years do you think they practice choreographing that?
For a dance troupe? Not that long. They're light on their toes.
That is very simplistic to do with only 3. Try doing it with a whole group of 4 to 5, maybe 6.
It's beyond my abilities, but either way, I can appreciate it. Let's get some sleep.
You also notice that all three of them were sporting what appeared to be hand cannons. They were pistols similar to what you've seen Nicholas carry, but they were much larger. They were about the length of their forearm.
I'm unimpressed. The reload time of those things must be atrocious.
So, am I correct to say that you would all like to spend the rest of the day just putting around before you go to bed for the evening? Because if you go to bed right now, it's about 2:30, so it'll be like 11 o'clock at night when you guys get up from your rest.
You know what? Actually, I'm going to go down and take care of some business real fast. Shouldn't take too long.
I'm gonna play my lute around in the tavern, providing music until everyone's ready to go to bed.
And there are a few people in the tavern right now. Most of them look like folk that you've seen in and around Troll Skull Alley.
Zara's going to go back down to the tavern and bring her herbalism books with her and just study for making healing.
Okay.
Or Linda.
Byron blends into the shadows. So Zara, do you spend your time downstairs in the tap room, or where it's, there's folk drinking and having a good time, or do you stay upstairs?
Sure.
How can she resist with my amazing performance going?
Pajama looking good. Kind of like, comfy, but kind of lost who I am right now.
So Siegfried, you watch as Nicholas is attempting to slip out of the tavern.
It adds a part about Nick slipping out into his song that he's performing.
And there goes the rogue. He thinks he's stealthy.
But wait, bye, Nick. Bye, Nick.
I look at everyone and wave.
Where will we go? No one knows. Probably off stealthing.
Samael's going to try to jump in and sing very poorly, probably to see his side chick.
Or to sell more of our belongings.
So, Samael, as you're in the tap room, you said you wanted to go somewhere?
Yes, I need to go run a few small errands.
Okay, you're running errands. Nicholas apparently is running errands also. And what are the rest of the party doing?
I'm drinking ale, sitting in the hallway.
Okay, you're sitting in the hallway. Every once in a while, Bren and Danica, the hirelings, two of the hirelings at work, the female halflings, come to see you, check on you, and ask if you want anything.
More ale, please.
They continue to bring you ale, as much as you can stomach.
And I appreciate that.
Doesn't she have one of the refilling ale cups?
Those are standard. They're upstairs, actually, in your meeting hall.
Samael said I couldn't have it again after I got mad and almost smashed the last one.
And Byron, you're just slinking in the shadows, watching everything?
Oh, no, I'm going up to Linda.
Oh, you're going out to Linda. It was funny you should mention that. You know that Linda actually left Sharn last week.
Oh, where was she headed?
She is on her archaeological expedition on the outskirts of the Mornland.
Oh, and I have free time.
To a place that Samael is very familiar with, actually.
Well, I'll spend,
Is she going to see the
hour,
monks?
I'll spend 3 minutes upstairs and then come back down.
What was that, Samael?
Is she going to go see the monks?
She might.
I hope so. We'll give us something to talk about later.
So, am I to assume that I see Byron just shaking in the shadows, dancing around when no one else can see him?
Unless he wants you to see him. Yeah, I don't think you see him unless you want to roll a perception. Unless you're actively looking for Byron. Nope, you can't find him. Byron and Siegfried play a game of hide and seek. They don't know that they're playing. Or should I say Siegfried doesn't know that they're playing.
You're busy strumming your instrument.
Yeah, watching the crowd. A bard needs to look how the crowd's reacting to see what they need to play and how to play it.
Well, who's got the map and the key? I don't know who
I
put that
do.
up. Okay.
Samael has the map and the key.
Maybe I'm going to go get the stone without y'all.
Good. I don't have to worry about getting attacked.
All right, so Samael, you're leaving. Where are you going?
I actually just sent you a message on Facebook about it, so I wouldn't have to take up time.
Oh, let me take a look.
Hey, before you leave, I want to get the map and the key from you, Samael.
You're already gone.
Samael is gone, unfortunately.
But when I get back, I'll gladly give it to you.
All right. Kevin, we can go ahead and take care of that, and we'll get it all tabulated for next session, because we're coming up on the
Sounds
end.
good. Sounds good to me.
Right now, Siegfried's just making Trolls Go Alley just like the hit place to be with all this good music.
So we'll say for the rest of the day, Kevin, Samael is able to get all that done.
Awesome.
And what about Nicholas? What are you doing for the rest of the day before you take your long rest?
I want to go see Manchun.
You're going to go see Manchun?
Yeah.
Okay. I would
would
say
like to
also,
avoid-
within this amount of time, after a few hours, Zito and Rainier return to the manor with Mr. R. And Mr. R sets to attempting to fix the Sky Coach, or the Sky Carriage.
I would also like to point out that when he asked Nick where he was going, Brunhild, sitting behind me, said he's going to go see Manchun about 5 seconds before Nick said.
Okay. So Nicholas is going to see Manchun by himself. He's going all the way back up to upper north edge. And when you get to Kolat Towers, Manchun isn't there. They apologize and they tell you that apparently Manchun left early in the afternoon after he heard that there was a horrible disturbance over on Moorgrave University.
What happened?
Said something about a student being attacked and killed.
From what?
They weren't sure, but Manchun mentioned something about a sigil being left behind.
Hmm.
Drawn in blood and body parts. And it was the sigil, the same symbol that the entire party has seen over and over again, of a spiral. The spiral formation that was left behind by Uza's bookstore. Apparently, the murderers that have been killing someone and killing people in the city have struck again.
Can you give him? Do you have a sending stone that I can get a hold of him?
And I say no, but you can always send him a paper bird to get a hold of him.
It's very important.
Well,
Very important.
I'm quite sure it is, sir, but he's a very busy man.
I understand, but I am an apprentice. So I do need a special favor.
As are we all, sir. We are all apprentices of the great Manchun. If you would like to wait here at Kolat Towers and relax and have some tea, perhaps the master will return.
Do you know how long he'll be?
Well, the master is... he's tricky. Sometimes he doesn't stay at the towers.
I would like to remind Nick that Samael has paper birds on him if he wants to come back and get one from me. Manchun could probably get to us faster than you can get to him.
A disembodied voice emits from your ring.
Well, I mean, I was figuring he would know that anyway, so I was just reminding him.
I'm gonna use the ring. Samael, do you still have paper birds?
Of course I do. There's beautiful ones too. Black on the outside. They look like crows.
Can you write Manchun a message for me?
Sure. What would you like for me to tell him?
Tell him to meet us immediately at the tavern. We have some new information.
Well, that
It's
would be
very
rude.
important.
Do you have anything I could throw in there to show him how important it is?
Tell him it's his apprentice Nick, and it's about the stone.
Very well. I'll go ahead and write that letter up.
Alright, thank you.
No problem at all, Nick.
I look at all the other princes. See, friends are more helpful, and I'm gonna walk out.
I'll run ahead and reduce my paper bird amount. And Jeremy, do you want me to write that letter up later or not?
What's that?
Do you want me to actually physically write that letter up?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'll go ahead and take care of that.
In answer to your question, Mark, it takes about, depending on what you want, if you're refilling your entire quiver, it'll probably run you about 10 gold.
And actually, in the meantime, Zara does want to study, but she did remember she had two other things.
Actually, I'm
Did she
sorry.
overhear about?
That was actually 5 gold to refill your quiver.
Okay.
And sorry, what were you saying, Zara?
Hey, Samayo, do you still have another paper?
I do, but I'm ready.
I can do.
Sure, I'll go ahead and hand it over to you.
I'm going to write a letter to my brother.
Oh, are you sure you want to use one of my paper birds for that?
Oh, well.
He's going to think you died.
He
Again.
might. He always thinks something happens to me, but he's one of those very protective brothers. But I mean, I don't really have another. I guess
Dasher, the halfling, comes up to you to refill your glass, Zara, and says, "Is there anything that you'd be needing? Hey, I'm really good at writing. If you want me to help you with that letter."
Oh, if you could just get me a paper bird, that'd be great.
Oh, sure. I'll be right back. It's upstairs, right?
Yes, sure.
Okay, I'll need your key to get up there. It's locked.
Zara, do you actually have any paper birds?
No.
Actually, do you mind running across the street and buying one real quick? I can go ahead and front you the gold for it.
Sure. And Zara looks at the little guy with the kind of like, what are you up to?
And he says, "Oh, you don't want me to go upstairs? Do you want me to go across the street and get it for you?"
That would be better.
Okay. And he holds out his hand.
Sure, how much you need to go pick up a single paper bird?
Well, they don't sell them by singles. They sell them in by boxes.
You know what? I'll go ahead and buy a box for the group. What is that, $2.50?
Let's take a look.
And are we assuming this is before Samael left or after Samael got back?
Let's see. Yep, it's 250 gold for a box of paper birds.
Maybe I'll just go get it.
So, Samael, are you going to buy those or no?
Actually, no. If I'm going to spend that kind of money on it, I'd rather get some that are actually have the ends, some customized for the actual establishment itself.
You mean like some stationery?
Yeah. I'm going to, let's see, she needs a paper bird, though. I'll tell you what, I'll write your letter up. Go ahead and write down what you want me to send, and
Oh, okay. And I write a letter.
And you guys can go ahead and we'll say that we'll spend the rest of the day taking care of your tasks, relaxing around the manor, reaching out to who you want to reach out to, and then taking your long rest into tomorrow. And that's where we're going to end for the session.